Lee. Throughout the play, the characters switch gender. They are one couple explored through different genders and couplings. Lee is sitting on a chair at the kitchen table. He is holding a large card, sort of like a birthday card, but with no distinct message on the front. He opens it, and we hear a loud recording of his voice saying the word dress. He quickly snaps the card closed. He places the card into an envelope which has number 3 written on it. He begins to hum the tune to Fireman Sam as he slides the card into the envelope and seals it. Then he places it on the table with 2 more cards labelled 1 and 2. He stands, and as he does so, he begins to sing.
And he's always on the scene, Fireman Sam.
He proudly picks up a hanger from the table on which is hanging a child's navy blue t-shirt with a paper fireman badge glued onto it and some yellow trousers.
And his engine's bright and clean, Fireman Sam.
He hangs the Fireman Sam costume up, dusts it down proudly, and exits. Lee enters, carrying a colander that's been spray-painted yellow with a cardboard kitchen roll stuck onto it. She gets more into the song, almost skipping as she sings.
You cannot ignore, dun, 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 dun. Sam is the hero next door.
She proudly places the colander on the table, then picks up 3 large cards. She takes a deep breath and begins her job of hiding the cards carefully one by one. She takes card 1 and places it on the kitchen counter. She picks up card 2 and exits. As the stage is empty, a letter pops through the front door. Lee re-enters, perhaps looking a little smug at how well organised he is being, and at that moment, the sound of keys in the door, and pure panic comes over him. Frantically, he rushes over and picks up the last card, card 3. He hurriedly exits with it. Billy and Billy enter simultaneously. They notice the letter on the floor and both pick it up.
Lee, I'm home.
They spot the colander on the table and do a double take before taking off their coats and putting them on a chair. They go to the fridge and pour 2 glasses of wine, one for themselves and one for Lee.
Lee, I'm home.
Lee and Lee enter at the same time.
There you are.
Aha, he's returned at last.
Male Lee gives male Billy a peck on the cheek.
Aha, she's returned at last.
Female Lee gives female Billy a peck on the cheek.
Aha, she's returned at last.
Male Lee gives female Billy a peck on the cheek. Female Lee and female Billy exit.
Now, I thought I'd lost you in our enormous mansion. Are you all right?
Yeah, of course. House husband's work can be quite exhausting as well, you know. Come here, you.
Billy and Lee give each other a peck on the lips, a moment of solace in each other's arms.
Long day.
Oh, the longest.
You work too hard.
I know, I know.
I've only just put Cam to bed if you want to pop in and say night.
Oh, you're an angel.
She'll be pleased to see you.
I poured you some. Catch up.
Tesco's finest piss wine.
Lee immediately pops a coaster under each glass and takes a sip.
I bought better wine than this.
Lee exits. Then Lee enters with some nice red wine in a posh bag. She places it carefully on top of the card labelled 1 that's still on the kitchen surface. She picks up Billy's coat and places it on the coat stand. Billy enters.
Out like a light already.
Oh, she swore she wouldn't sleep until you said goodnight.
She swore she ate all the broccoli on Monday.
And she was very convincing.
And when I got home that night?
It's her eyes. She's a good liar.
And when I went to kiss her goodnight?
I know.
There it was.
Under her pillow. I know. I'm too soft. I don't know how she got it there.
Well, she's fooled you again. She's fast asleep.
Oh, she was so full of energy 15 minutes ago. Next time I'll have to give her a bedtime coffee. Then you can see her. Then you can see her all night long.
I see her.
I'm kidding.
Billy collapses into a seat at the table.
Don't get too comfy. The babysitter's on the way.
Billy takes another big gulp of wine and kicks off her shoes.
So, can you guess what it is yet?
Are you being Rolf Harris? Because I don't think that's appropriate anymore.
Oh, I thought it was Andy Peters.
It's Rolf Harris, so I really wouldn't.
Can you guess what it is?
It's a colander with a bog roll on it.
It's a yellow colander with a kitchen roll on it. It's Cam's World Book Day costume.
What's she going to do? Sit in it and be pasta?
Come on.
Our daughter is going to her inaugural World Book Day as hosted by Miss Lewis of Groveside Primary School as the spaghetti carbonara in the Jamie Oliver cookbook.
Come on. Think children's books.
It's one of those things from Despicable Me.
A minion? And no, because that's not a book.
Simpson, Marge.
Also not a book.
Well, I can honestly say I have no other guesses.
It's Fireman Sam. The colander's his helmet.
What's the bog roll for?
She wanted to be a unicorn, Fireman Sam. I worked really hard on this.
I'm sorry, you're right. How rude of me. Let's try that again. She wanted to be a unicorn, Fireman Sam. Wow, that's amazing. How did you know that that's my favourite bit of the whole Fireman Sam journey? I know some people don't see as partial transformation into a unicorn as canon in the Fireman Sam universe, but I truly believe it to be vital.
All right. Look, it's what Cam wanted.
There's a reason I'm supposed to do these things. I don't think you can use bog roll to...
It's not bog roll, it's kitchen roll.
Big difference.
Well, there is a big difference because this is nice, hygienic kitchen roll that lives in the kitchen, okay?
Sure.
Lee picks up Billy's shoes and takes them off stage and re-enters as Lee.
Where's she got unicorn Fireman Sam from?
Well, that's what Esme's going at.
Aha. Just how much time did you spend on this
Well,
costume?
hang on.
It all becomes clear.
Esme's mum has probably made Esme...
Wait. Let me guess. I love this game. You're worried because...
I'm not worried. I've just had enough.
You're worried because... what could it be? Esme's mum has sourced a genuine unicorn and fused it with her daughter to form the most convincing and scientifically revolutionary World Book Day costume ever created.
I wouldn't put it past her.
And you just can't handle all the press taking pictures of this amazing feat of biological engineering without even considering our daughter.
You win, okay? I was feeling a little bit competitive.
So to try and get our little girl on the front page
And maybe to steal Esme's thunder.
And to steal Esme's thunder, obviously.
Only a little.
You stuck a kitchen roll on a colander.
Exactly. Well, when you put it like that.
It does look a bit shit.
Well, Cam thinks it's cool.
Cam also thinks the broccoli fairy will retrieve rejected pillow vegetables.
Fine. The point is, it's done. I did it. One less thing to get in our way this evening. And that means it's time for us to go and get ready for our big night out.
Lee begins humming sexy romantic music and swaying, trying to excite Billy.
We're going to the cinema.
Or are we going to the cinema?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Well, that's going to get old pretty quickly.
Or is it going to get old?
Yes, it is. All right.
To start us off, I've got us a nicer bottle of wine than that piss you're currently drinking. Maybe we should pour a glass of that and go and get a bit glammed up.
Well, if you're not going to tell me where we're going, how am I supposed to know what to wear? Do you want me in a suit or an evening gown or a colander?
Beautiful. Hang on, you haven't even seen the pièce de résistance yet.
Lee exits. Billy picks up the colander and laughs. She taps the kitchen roll and it almost falls off. She looks panicked and tries to jolt it back into place. Lee enters, brandishing a garden hosepipe.
You are kidding. She can't carry that about. She's 5. What made you think to buy a brand new hose, but not a fancy dress helmet?
It has to look homemade.
Well, congratulations, you've definitely achieved that.
Well, Esme's mum makes everything at home. She'll probably forge her own helmet out of cast iron. Have I told you she makes her own crumpets?
You
The
have
woman makes her own crumpets. I mean, I didn't even know it was possible to make crumpets.
I know. Esme's mom is really amazing.
I definitely didn't say amazing.
Unfortunately, not all of us have been bitten by this radioactive super nannies and become super parents.
I'm a super parent.
Believe me, I know. Look, will you let me tweak the costume? Just let me have a go at making one out of paper or something. I don't think Esme's mum will be all that impressed with a bog roll.
It's kitchen roll. And please forget about the costume, forget about the hose, forget about the woman that we're not going to talk about tonight. Let's just get ready, okay?
Okay. But you have to tell me, what exactly has my loving wife got planned for tonight?
Just wait and see.
Lee begins massaging Billy's shoulders.
Forgotten about the colander?
Forgotten about the colander.
Forgotten about the hose?
Forgotten about the hose.
Forgotten about Esme's...
All forgotten. Now wine.
Wine. Okay, you pour the posh stuff and I'll go and get ready. Kiss?
They kiss. Lee exits. Billy sits.
Daddy.
I've got it.
Billy sighs, a little hurt. She takes a sip of the wine. Billy reads the letter that came through the door.
The fuck?
Maybe Mummy has your Gruffalo in the kitchen. Mummy, have you seen Cam's Gruffalo?
Billy gets up in a panic, opens a cupboard to put the letter in.
Sometimes he hides in the kitchen cupboards, doesn't he?
Billy panics again and shoves the letter into the freezer.
Daddy, I found him. He's right here.
Never mind, Mummy, we've got it.
Of course you've got it.
Determined, Billy looks down at the colander.
No, I'm sorry. At least the bog roll has to go.
Billy picks up the helmet, she rips the horn off and puts it unceremoniously into the bin. As she does so, she notices card 1 next to the bottle of wine. She opens it, carefully. She opens the card and hears Lee's voice. With a little squeal, she slams it shut. She leans to look off stage to see if anyone is near. All clear. She opens the card and the recorded message plays.
Dress posh for a night of wine and nosh. Find the next clue where Cam first said bosh. For tonight it is the night of our big treasure hunt. There's only one word that rhymes now, but I won't be that blunt.
Billy laughs. Suddenly she remembers the horn she just threw into the bin. Rushing over to the bin, Billy reaches in and pulls out the horn, now covered in tomato sauce.
Shit.
Holding the horn at a distance, Billy moves over to the paper towels to clean the sauce from the horn. She finds the paper towel holder empty.
Fantastic.
Billy hears Lee returning, humming Fireman Sam. Billy quickly returns the card back to the kitchen surface before rushing off stage with the unicorn horn just in time for Lee to return. Lee is now wearing a smart shirt and tie and is swaying sexily in time with his singing.
Move aside, make way for Fireman Sam, 'cause he's gonna save the...
Lee stops singing as he realizes the kitchen is empty. Slightly embarrassed, he glances around.
You're right, hun.
One sec.
Lee goes back to humming Fireman Sam. He checks card 1 is still there. He smiles, perhaps a little excited. Billy enters timidly. He is now carrying a soaking wet and floppy horn stained by tomato sauce. The two just look at each other for a moment.
My horn.
I
What happened?
dropped it.
What? Where? The toilet?
The bin.
Oh, right.
Wait.
You put it in the bin.
Oh, yes, but then
Then
I...
you decided the bin wasn't enough.
No, I...
So you took it out
Yes, I took it out.
and tried to flush it down the toilet.
What? No.
Really get rid of it for good.
No, I was trying to wash it off, but
Was it really that ugly?
no.
Were your eyes really that offended?
Okay, you have to stop.
You destroyed my art.
Art is a strong word.
See?
Okay, yes, fine. I put it in the bin, but then I changed my mind.
Oh, how thoughtful.
But it had ketchup over it or something.
Tomato soup.
Soup.
Tomato soup. Cam had tomato soup for dinner.
Oh. I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter.
It does. Can I remake it?
Oh, look how that's turned out.
Okay, you can remake it.
Oh, forget the horn. Cam will live. She can just be ordinary Fireman Sam.
Oh, she could wear a pair of fairy wings with it or something.
Fairy Fireman Sam.
Well, she'd love that, right?
Fairies aren't the same as unicorns.
Sorry, what?
Fairies are sort of, you know, flappy. Unicorns are bold, empowered.
Come on now.
Esme's mum would have a field day with a fairy Fireman Sam made by us.
Lee, please, we really don't care what that woman thinks of us. How about we just don't talk about Esme and her mum for one night, please?
Sorry.
Ordinary Fireman Sam?
Okay.
Don't worry. Unicorn or not, she's very... What did you say unicorns were?
Empowered.
Empowered, yeah. A fireman is a pretty great costume to choose.
I thought so too.
She's not going as a Snow White or Cinderella type. Doesn't need to sing to magic birds or anything too. She's a fireman. She puts out fires.
I think maybe we should go with fire person, should we?
Probably. Cam will know better than us.
I don't think it's a political statement. She just wants to wear a helmet.
No, she's clever. She's intuitive.
She's got your brains. And we raised her well.
Well, I think that stuff's your doing.
Now, will you go and get ready before I have to drag you myself and dress you like a baby?
Okay, Daddy.
Stop it. You're gross.
You look nice, by the way.
Thank you. I agree. Now go and match me.
Nice, sexy fireman, Sam.
My engine's bright and clean.
And you've got a very impressive hose.
You are filth.
Billy takes a sip of wine and puts the glass down. He goes to exit. Lee looks at the destroyed horn and frowns a little. He picks it up and returns it to the bin. Billy catches a glimpse of this and looks a bit concerned. He has a moment of inspiration and walks off with determination. Lee, alone, looks slightly defeated. He picks up Billy's glass of wine and puts it on a coaster. Lee goes over to card 1 on the side. He picks it up and ponders. Then he puts it back down. Billy bursts back in, still in her work clothes, holding a cone-shaped party hat.
Why aren't you getting dressed?
A cylindrical shape was never going to work.
Well, I was improvising. Now, can you please?
I had this at the back of the wardrobe from Lizzie's hen do.
Billy puts the hat down and goes to a drawer and gets out some sellotape.
Just leave it.
No, let me do it. You're right, she should be a unicorn.
We agreed to leave it. Hang on, this thing is covered in tiny penises.
I can cover them up.
Possibly erect ones.
I'll fix it.
For a 5-year-old's World Book Day costume, I think we want to avoid any chance of a link between having a horn and, you know, having the horn.
I'll fix it.
It doesn't need fixing. I've done the costume. Go and get dressed, please.
I want to do it. I said I would do it.
And you were late.
I know.
Billy sets about trying to attach the new horn to the helmet in a fairly frantic, determined fashion.
It doesn't matter anyway.
It does matter. I'm proud of her. She's chosen an amazing costume. She could have chosen anything, you know, something shallow like Barbie or Cindy.
Also not books. And also it's not 1965.
Well, the point is, she wants to be a special unicorn fire person because she doesn't see boundaries and she doesn't see gender.
Well, don't sound so surprised. I do try to teach her these values.
Oh, do you?
We try to teach her these values.
You think I'm less responsible for Cam's personality or decisions or values because I can't be here as much? Because I'm less vocal? I mean, being vocal isn't necessarily the only way to do it, you know.
You are vocal when you're here. I can't give you more say when you aren't here to say it.
I was going to send my daughter to school in a penis hat. That's me trying to help prove what a good mother I am.
No, it's my fault. A helmet with a horn and a hose. I was going to turn her into a walking innuendo. I shouldn't have tried to be creative. And we shouldn't have chosen Fireman Sam. I don't even know if it is that gender defying or feminist. Maybe she just thinks boys are better after all. Why doesn't she want to go as the female firewoman out of the Fireman Sam?
That's true. I like the firewoman. She's a lot braver than Sam. Sam does very little firefighting. It's 90% cats up trees.
Okay. If you like her so much, what's her name?
Well, that's not the point.
Funny that.
I read to her just as much as you do, if that's what you're
Not recently,
insinuating.
don't. And actually, that's not what I'm insinuating. That's what I'm saying.
I've been working late. A lot. A lot. A lot. Oh my God, you're right. I'm a terrible mother. I should know what the firewoman's name is. Why don't I know her name? I'm useless.
Billy looks to Lee, waiting for a response. Lee is so taken aback by this sudden change, he says nothing. Billy waves her arms, indicating Lee should say something.
What? Well,
What? Her name's Penny.
no, not that. This is where you say, no, you're not a terrible mother. Or, what are you talking about? You're not useless. Don't be silly.
Stop it. You're being ridiculous.
Even the father of my child thinks I'm an awful mother.
No.
I may be out earning the money instead of attempting to make helmets, but that doesn't make me any less of Cam's mother.
Billy sinks into a seat, exhausted. She begins to cry. Lee, panicking, starts running around the kitchen looking for tissues. He runs to the empty kitchen roll holder.
Shit.
Lee runs back to Billy, gives her a slightly pathetic pat on the head, making some gentle, comforting sounds, then runs out of the room, and Lee runs back in with toilet roll. She gives Billy some tissues. Once this is done, she picks up the nice wine, grabs 2 glasses, and pours them both a generous helping. She puts it down for Billy on a coaster.
You're doing a great job.
Lee goes and puts the wine back on top of the card.
I know I am, actually, okay? But frankly, I don't necessarily mean I come back home sometimes and I think, I don't know what's going on here. I don't get much or any say in what goes on. I earn this money and then I come home and here's Cam with you and you do a great job. But when it comes to Cam, am I even considered in any way, in any of it?
Billy stands. She picks up the wine glass, takes a swig, and intentionally, defiantly places it down next to the coaster. Billy storms off. Lee looks bemused and fairly angry. She walks over to her glass of wine and takes a swig. Then she walks over to card 1, picks it up, and looks at it, considering what to do. She puts it in her back pocket. Then she takes the toilet roll and exits to the bathroom. Lee re-enters. He takes a seat and sips the wine, looking a little crestfallen. Billy bustles in, clearly not okay, full of energy and trying to master the issue. He goes straight for the wine, taking an enthusiastic gulp.
Hey, you.
This really is nice wine.
How are you doing?
Full-bodied, wouldn't you say?
What was all that about then?
Where did you get this again?
Did you really mean...
I used to think I was more of a white wine guy, but the older I get...
Look, just because you aren't here as often doesn't mean you're any less Cam's dad.
Where are we going tonight then?
How about this? I call up the mystery place, you call up the babysitter, and we cancel.
No.
We meet back on the sofa with our fancy, full-bodied wine in our ugliest, comfiest PJs. You can light some candles.
You're still scared?
Look, I think it's okay to be scared of fire. That's a pretty normal fear to have.
Thank God we have that hose, in case it all goes wrong.
We'll make ourselves nice and cozy then, evening in, a cuddle and a chat.
There really is nothing to chat about.
Really? Really?
You know what? No, not tonight. You are planning something special and we could do with a nice romantic evening. You're right. It's about time we spend just one evening together where I'm not fielding emails and you don't have Ribena down your front and a pack of crayons in your pocket.
Is that a crayon in your pocket or?
Let's go. It'll be nice. Thank you for just being, you know.
Billy picks up Lee's glass of wine and hands it to him.
Now, come on. You were trying to inject a bit of romance into my cold, cold heart, so let's do this.
Submits and gives a little laugh, but is clearly still concerned. As Lee talks, Billy moves over to the kitchen side and puts on some romantic music.
Okay, but you're not getting away that easily. We do need to talk about this at some point. I don't want you bottling up.
Lee is now distracted by the music as Billy sways towards Lee dancing. They dance.
You're a great dad. Costume's fine. We don't have to think about World Book Day for another year or possibly ever again. Cam will be probably making her own by next year. She's the real creative one.
Well, she gets that from you.
And when she called raspberries lasbears, just like Shakespeare, making up a whole vocabulary of new words.
Yeah, the pushchair was called the toddle zoom.
I think the umbrella was once mummy.
Bosch was the rubber ducky.
Bosch was the rubber ducky.
Billy pecks Lee on the lips, turns off the music and begins to exit.
I'm just going to go and freshen up, make sure I'm looking as beautiful as my beautiful husband, and then we're going to go and sport ourselves on a beautiful romantic evening.
Finally.
Billy exits excitedly. Lee has a sip of wine, then exits to get ready. Billy blusters in, full of energy, clutching the card in an envelope marked 2. She looks around for Lee. Tentatively, she calls out.
Lee?
No response. She takes out the card for the envelope and opens it. We hear Lee's voice.
Tonight's about much more than just posh food for 2. Look in Cam's favourite book for your next clue.
Billy puts the card back in its envelope.
Introducing your host for tonight, the one, the only, the very, very sexy, very, very desirable, very, very...
Billy hides the card back in its envelope and puts it in her back pocket.
Come on, don't keep me waiting.
Lee enters.
Lee! Woo! The crowd go wild! Ooh, they're amazed. Oh, look, someone just fainted at the sight of me.
Oh, catch me, I'm swooning.
Billy pretends to faint. Lee grabs her in her arms and they kiss.
Will you do my necklace?
Billy takes the necklace and Lee turns so she can put it on. Billy kisses the back of Lee's neck. Lee closes her eyes for a moment. Billy turns to Lee's face and they kiss.
You look beautiful.
And you look like you're not ready yet.
I'm on it. In a minute, maybe.
Billy kisses Lee again. They move towards the sofa as they kiss, getting a little more passionate.
Okay, in a minute, maybe.
They kiss again. Lee puts her hand near Billy's back pocket where the envelope is. Billy grabs Lee's hands passionately.
When are you going to tell me where we're going tonight, eh? My sexy, secretive fire person, Sam.
Lee grabs the colander and puts it on her head and strikes a sort of sexy pose.
I'm all Penny, babe.
Is it weird that's sort of doing it for me?
Oh, yes it is. This is Cam's.
Maybe it's the whole being tossed over a shoulder and rescued by a sexy firefighter thing. I didn't know that until right now, but maybe I quite like that.
Well, I'm not sure I can toss you over my shoulder or fight a fire, but I'll see what I can do about the sexy bits.
Lee smiles and pulls Billy back towards her. Again, her hands veer down, her back towards her pocket. Billy smacks them away.
Hey,
I have to get ready.
you're the one who's been faffing.
Nope, no time. I'm off to get ready.
What
Billy
is that?
turns as if to leave.
What is that?
Billy thinks Lee's talking about the card in her pocket.
What? It's nothing.
Oh, I've got Cam's mousse on my blouse.
Oh.
Damn. Well, hang on. Chocolate stains. Ice cubes, then cold water?
Lee walks towards the freezer.
No,
No, I'm right. Ice cubes and cold water get out chocolate.
I'll sort it out.
Billy runs past Lee towards the freezer and opens it. Envelope discovery avoided. Billy pulls out some ice cubes.
What's got into you this evening? I'll see what I can do with this. You go and see if you can find something to wear.
As far as I know, we're going to the cinema, aren't we? No one's going to notice a little stain on the cinema.
We're not going to the cinema. I've booked us a table at that new Vietnamese place.
The place The Guardian described as Vietnamese class meets Planet Hollywood Sass.
That's the one.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed. Who allowed that review to be published? And we're actually going.
Yes, I do listen. Happy? Surprise.
Billy, although excited, has a second thought and looks slightly confused. Is that it? Was that the end of the treasure hunt? She goes off to get ready. Billy re-enters holding a brightly coloured shirt.
Hun?
Yeah.
Lee,
What do you think of this? Is it a bit, you know,
A bit.
a bit gay?
Well, you are a bit gay, aren't you? You were the last time I checked.
You know what I mean?
Don't be ridiculous.
Lee exits. Billy exits. Billy enters, now wearing a blouse that is very similar colour to the one Billy was just holding. Billy is holding two pairs of trousers. One pair is quite dressy suit-like, one pair is more like jeans.
Hon,
Yes?
what do you think of these? Are they a bit, you know,
A bit.
a bit lesbian?
Well, you are a bit lesbian, aren't you? You were the last time I checked.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Don't be paranoid.
Lee exits.
And hey,
Lee pops his head in.
the surprise tonight is the Vietnamese restaurant.
Yes? Why? Is there something wrong with that?
No, it's great.
Lee enters fully, still holding the shirt he's trying to get a stain out of. He goes to get the wine.
And nice wine, of course.
And a big hose.
Well, that's not a new surprise.
Billy smirks. She picks up her wine and takes the last sip. She goes over to the posh bottle of wine. She notices that card 1 is no longer there. Lee removed it earlier. Billy looks under the bottle and around a little.
So, nice restaurant. No more surprises.
Nice restaurant. No more surprises. Why?
Why you?
Why you doesn't mean anything. What's up?
Nothing? Nothing? Hey, what do you think of these?
She holds up the businessy suit trousers.
Are they a bit, you know,
Bit.
a bit... No, I haven't really got a word for it.
Boring? You just do you, babe, right? I'm going to give this one last go.
Lee heads towards the freezer. Billy gets there first and gives him an ice cube.
Thank you.
They have a peck on the lips. Lee exits. Billy opens the freezer and takes the letter out. She hides it in a kitchen drawer. Billy then exits to get ready. Billy and Lee enter simultaneously. Billy is now fully dressed. Lee is holding the top and has made no progress.
It's not
Ta-da!
They look at each other. It's the first time that these two actors have been on the stage together.
Hang on, this is wrong.
Yeah, I'm always gay.
Oh, honey, me too.
Lee runs off and Lee comes in holding the stained shirt.
It's not coming out.
Oh, that's better. So, I'm more ready than you now. Babysitter's here soon, Lee.
Give me 5 minutes.
Lee marches straight through and exits to the other side of the stage. Billy spies an opportunity. Billy exits slightly creeping. Then Billy re-enters with a pile of children's books. The hunt for card 3 begins. Billy drops them down on the table and sits down to start searching. Billy enters with more books to help. Both Billy and Billy are on stage together. Lee enters pretty much ready, but the Billies have been caught in the act.
Hey,
That was quick.
what are you doing?
Oh, nothing. Just, you know, making sure I read to her more often. I thought I'd practice my voices. I like green eggs and ham. I do. I like them, Sam. I am.
Okay.
You look amazing.
Did you find anything at all? In the bathroom, maybe?
No. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. Like what?
Like, nothing?
There was a very hungry caterpillar. Caterpillar. Caterpillar? Lee, how do you say caterpillar in a German accent?
Lee has already exited to the bathroom. Billy and Billy look a bit guilty. They try to take a sip of wine at the same time. Lee re-enters. She walks towards Billy and peers at her. Lee enters too. He peers at Billy in the same way.
Are you sure you didn't find anything? What exactly are you doing with those? Why would you want to practice right now?
Okay, you got me. I was just looking at what Fireman Sam looks like, you know, to tweak the costume.
But you haven't found anything.
What's Cam's favourite book?
How did you find it? I thought...
What's Cam's favourite book? Clearly I don't know. Clearly I don't read to her enough. I don't know if this game is designed to specifically to humiliate me and call out my incomprehensible lack of knowledge on my own daughter's life and schooling and character. But if that is it, congratulations, mission accomplished. Thank you very much.
Her favourite books aren't there. They're in their own special pile. Like her very favourite book, The Gruffalo, which she likes because you do the voices.
Me?
Yes. She was looking forward to you coming home tonight and doing the Gruffalo voices and making the Fireman Sam costume. And instead she got me reading Fireman Sam in the worst Welsh accent you've ever heard in your whole life, and a colander with a kitchen roll stuck on it.
I didn't know she preferred my voices.
Oh, yeah. I don't even get a look in Gruffalo-wise. My Gruffalo game is just not up to scratch.
Shit, I'm sorry. Why didn't you do the Gruffalo for a costume then?
I've told you, Cam wanted to be a unicorn Fireman Sam because that's what Esme's mum's... Because that's what Esme's going as. Esme's doing it, so Cam wanted to do it too.
Is it Cam wants to because Esme is, or you want to because Esme's mum is?
Don't be ridiculous.
You care too much about what she thinks. And you'll make Cam care too. That woman's not worth it, believe me.
For somebody who doesn't want to talk about her, you do a pretty good job of yapping on, you know.
I don't want to talk about this tonight. I'm going to find the Gruffalo so we can get back to whatever game this is you're playing.
So you found the card in the bathroom?
I found the bathroom one, I found the wine one, and now I'm going to find the Gruffalo one.
You don't need to find the Gruffalo one. It's here.
Lee takes card 3 from her pocket and holds it up.
Why is it here? And
I wanted tonight to be special. I thought I'd plan a nice little treasure hunt, and then we go for a posh meal, and then I just changed my mind, okay?
changed your mind about what? A restaurant?
Lee drops the card on the table. Billy opens the card. Lee...
Who is this creature with terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws? The parent who will read to Cam for me, who I think could love even more family. You're the love of my life. You're not a creature. It's time to go out and discuss our future.
I'm not sure creature and future rhyme.
Not really the key point here.
Sorry. Why do we need to discuss our future?
I was planning to ask you if you wanted to try for another baby.
Right. Then you changed your mind?
Fuck.
Fuck.
Babysitter.
Babysitter.
What do we...
Billy walks calmly over to a bag. She picks out a £20 note. Billy and Billy exit. Lee and Lee exchange a look. This is not how tonight was supposed to go. They both go to pour a glass of wine. They both try to take a sip at the same time. There is quiet. Billy and Billy re-enter.
£20 and an apology. I think she was delighted to get her evening back.
She's bloody lazy, to be fair.
So? Is that what you want?
What I want?
A bigger family, another kid?
Yes, but I don't want it until
Until
we're ready.
we aren't ready.
No, I don't know. This isn't how I wanted tonight to go. This isn't the conversation I wanted to be having. Tonight was supposed to be...
You obviously thought we were ready before I came home.
That's not fair.
Well,
I had been thinking about it and yes, obviously yes.
what changed?
If you don't think I'm giving you the chance, the opportunity, the input into Cam's life, I'm doing something wrong. I'm not... This isn't equal.
Okay.
How can I ask you to have another child with me if we haven't figured out how to raise our first one?
What's funny?
Maybe if we're lucky, we'll figure out Cam at this stage. Little running,
Tipping,
questioning,
farting.
and constantly amazing Cam. But then the second we figure her out, we'll blink and realise it's too late. Because then she'll be Cam who slams doors and is awkward in her own body and hates her own skin and hair and
Clothes.
and voice and we'll probably us.
That's a depressing thought.
It's exciting. It's what being a parent is about, isn't it? I mean, you bring this weird lump of flesh into the world,
How flattering.
and neither one of us knows what to do with her. But she fills you with so much love that your chest might split open at any moment. So it doesn't matter if you figured it out, just as long as you know you'd do anything for that broccoli-dodging
Unicorn.
fire person. And I know that you would.
And I know that you would.
And that means we're getting it right. So maybe we could get it right for two.
Cam does need someone to help her eat her broccoli.
Might more likely be someone to help her hide her broccoli
They could do joint costumes.
and make up words together.
They could enjoy your storybook voices together.
Cam could teach them to be as strong-willed and creative and just simply amazing.
I love you.
Let's do it.
Have another baby.
As long as you haven't changed your mind.
Are you sure? Really? Well, come here.
The couples embrace, perhaps a kiss, a moment of tenderness. It feels like a resolve.
Now, where's that posh wine then? Now that I understand why we're drinking it, hand it over.
I guess we're celebrating.
Cheers!
Shh, come upstairs. I promise you'll have more of a say in how we raise them both. I don't mean to be so controlling.
The only thing I would love you to promise is that you care a little less about what that woman thinks. I need to show you something.
Right?
Just sit down for a second.
Billy goes to get the letter out of the drawer.
Okay. If this is some weird treasure hunt payback, stop, because you're scaring me. Seriously, what is happening?
When I came home, I saw this letter. I opened it and I wanted to show you straight away, but you were so excited and I was going to show you, I promise.
What is it?
Billy goes to give Lee the letter and hesitates.
Billy.
Maybe it's better maybe it'll sound better if you hear it from me.
Okay.
Okay.
Billy and Leah sat down. They listen as Billy reads the letter, hearing it in their own world too.
Dear fellow parents, it has come to our attention that school policy on sex education has recently changed. The school curriculum is to now include inclusive lifestyle classes. This means your child will soon be learning about same-sex marriage and LGBT rights in the classroom. Please see a list of books below that have been added to the curriculum. Children should be allowed to be children, not forced to consider our equal rights and politics at such an early age. Our children, our choice. Please come for a parents' meeting in the library cafe at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Yours sincerely.
Who sent it?
It's signed by some of the other parents.
Esme's mum. Why didn't you tell me?
didn't want to. I knew it would hurt.
Is this aimed at us? Because we're raising Cam to be liberal and open and...
I don't know.
This is us.
I know. I'm sorry.
This is us.
I know. I'm sorry.
Why did you hide it from me?
I don't know. I wanted to break it to you gently and, well, you care so much about what she thinks already. I didn't want this to make things worse.
I care what she thinks because actually I had an idea that this might happen. You hear things in the playground. And if I hear things, then Cam hears things. Fucking hell, that woman.
What have you heard?
Esme told Cam that her mum said she didn't believe in BLT+. I think, given that it's come from Esme's mum to Esme to Cam, that the original message was slightly less sandwich related.
So Cam's picking up on this stuff.
I mean, are we offensive?
What?
Am I offensive because I exist? Because that's all those books teach, you know, that there are different people out there who exist. I'm right here, raising Cam, and she's fucking perfect, and she doesn't get to hear that at school or anywhere, that actually, not only is she perfect, she comes from a perfectly loving home.
She knows that. She sees it every day. She loves you. She loves us. You've got nothing to prove to Esme or to Esme's fucking mum. It wouldn't matter how much shit the world throws. They both have us.
But I'm scared.
What?
There's so much shit out there. I spend every moment trying to protect her from the world, and
You can't protect her from the world out there. But when it starts coming through our door, I mean, why has she put this through our fucking door?
Oh, it's like the playground power game. She's undermining us. She wants us to feel small and illegitimate because she's doing things the proper, traditional way.
Well, you know what? We aren't small at all. If that woman wants us to feel looked at, to feel judged, to feel trapped by her small-minded definition of proper, well, she's got another thing coming.
We checked out of all that shit long ago. All those mundane expectations of what life is or should be. We checked out when we came out. We've done this. We're living on our own terms and we're free in ways that Esme's mom will never understand. Why do you think anyone would marry that woman?
Nice crumpets.
They probably got married because society told them that's what they should do. And they probably had kids for the same reason. And they don't even realize it. We know that we married because we love each other. And we had Cam because we chose that path for ourselves. We are proper.
You're right. Let her raise her kid in a tight little box and let her make more crumpets. Because we're going to be raising our amazing Cam to be open without any boxes. And we're going to get on with making more babies. With a little bit of help from science, of course.
There's so much shit out there. I spend every moment trying to protect her from the world, and it's
impossible.
I can tell her she's strong and beautiful and smart and could fight any fire she wants.
Oh, please don't tell her that.
And they're trying in schools, they're trying, and I'm scared. I'm scared that she might get...
Okay, but what do we do? What do we do about the letter?
I don't know.
What can we do? These people will always be there. We can't stop them.
Hey, so what do we do? What do we do about the letter?
Okay, so what do we do? What do we do about the letter?
Suddenly, and without warning, the Lees jump up. One grabs a laptop and one grabs a glass of wine and the letter from Esme's mum. They set up at the laptop and begin typing at it with purpose.
We do what we're good at.
We fight back.
Hang on. What are you doing? Because if you're emailing her, you need to run it by me. Please. Lee?
How are your penguin voices?
What?
How are your penguin voices?
Do I need to call a doctor?
What accent would you give a penguin?
I don't know. Scottish, Geordie, maybe?
Done.
Whoa, whoa, what have you done?
My princess boy.
Excuse me?
Mummy, Mama, and me.
You're okay.
And Tango makes 3. The one about the gay penguins.
Has the stress got to you?
I've just ordered some new books.
LGBT plus kids books from the new curriculum. Thank you for the recommendations, Esme's mum.
All we can do is make sure that our home is the warmest, safest, smartest place a child could grow up in, with love. And quite frankly, Fireman Sam just isn't doing it for me anymore.
Gruffalo?
No, not quite the gay icon I'm looking for in my kids' books anymore.
And who knows, maybe these books will be Cam's new favourite things when the next World Book Day costume needs gluing together.
You can do it next year.
And you can make the second costume.
Oh, I get backup costume duties. Lucky me.
No, not back up. Costume 2 for child number 2.
You sure?
I'm sure.
I love you.
We've got this.